Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, December 21st, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. On Monday, the Budget Balancing Committee met for the final time before the new year to discuss override options and recommendations. After about an hour of delegation, a motion by a vote of 6-3 was passed to recommend to the Board of Selectmen an override number of $7 million.
As I understand the numbers, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the motion suggested by Maya would be 5.9 million. The 600,000 to restore general government cuts, 250,000 in additional road money, nothing for facilities, and 250 for snow and ice for a total of 7 million. Is that fair?
That was my motion.
That's the motion.
This number, if ultimately approved by the Board of Selectmen, will go to a ballot for the town to vote upon in the coming months. One of the main concerns of the committee is the fear of the override not passing entirely via town meeting. School committee member Maura Smith expressed her observations from the open forum on the town's reaction to this situation.
I personally would just remind everyone of the meeting we had on November 29th. I did not walk out of there thinking people were saying, and this was when we were talking 8.7, I didn't hear people say, "Dear Lord, bring that number down." And I'm not saying that everyone who was there represents a solid cross-section of the public. I just think if that's all we have to go off of, what I heard was, we better do something.
To watch the full meeting on demand, go to norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to see how some of the town departments celebrate the holidays and for this week's Living Local.
Stop by the Norwood Memorial Library and check out magazines, newspapers, DVDs, and of course, books. The library also offers a variety of services, including passport renewal, a notary, and tutoring, with multiple different meeting rooms which can be booked for your convenience. Take advantage of online digital resources and get assistance with all of your research needs. Kids can enjoy the children's room stocked with books and toys. There are also a variety of programs for children and adults. And if you can't make it into the library can come to you with home delivery. The library is open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. To learn more, go to www.norwoodlibrary.org.
Welcome back. Over the last few weeks, most of the businesses and departments around town celebrated the holiday season. Last weekend, the Recreation Department hosted a breakfast with Santa. Last year, they hosted 50 people, and this year it jumped up to 150 people. The event was hosted at the Civic in the gym and the Willett Room. Participants and family members got to enjoy an amazing breakfast provided by the OCC, arts and crafts making, and writing letters to Santa. The Rec Department is already excited to host Santa again next year. Every year, Norwood Bank puts up the Christmas tree in the lobby with tags that include gift requests for Norwood children. Bank customers, bank employees, and just local people who have heard about it come in and take a tag off the tree and shop for the child. Once all the gifts are returned, they are sorted and delivered to the schools who handle the distribution. This program has been going on here for 30+ years. Now let's go take a look at this week's Living Local.
If you're looking for something different in your workout, look no further than Title Boxing Club.
Slip, slip, move.
Located on 1200 Boston Providence Highway in Norwood, Title Boxing Club is a workout studio that offers a full-body workout that packs a punch.
It's a place where some people who are kind of getting bored of different gyms or different workout routines can come in here, completely change it up, and it's for everyone, whether you're 80 years old, 12 years old, or anything in between. Everyone gets a good workout out of it.
The club ensures that you don't need to be a prize fighter to get involved. The emphasis is on the workout.
Jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. You're keeping your upper body.
It's get fit boxing. So you come in and it's all about the workout. Everything's at your own pace. You're on your own heavy bag, and you kind of get that edge. You kind of feel kind of bad at the same time too.
With tons of different training personalities on staff, Title Boxing offers a variety of classes and personal training sessions to its members.
We have classes starting off at 5 a.m. every morning, right until about 7 p.m., and then we have weekend classes as well. We also offer one-on-one training, and we also have open gym throughout the day, so people can come in here, use our weight area, our turf area, do one-on-one sessions with our trainers, or just come in and hit the bags on their own if they wanted to.
The sessions the club offers are high intensity and follow a format of boxing round increments.
We have our typical 1 hour power hour class. In that class, you're going to have a 15-minute warm-up where you're kind of getting the blood flowing a little bit of shadow boxing on the bags. From there, you're going to go into 8 rounds of boxing. It's going to be 3 minutes each round. Each round, the trainer's going to tell you exactly what the combination's going to be, show you it, and then you're shadowing it on your own pace on your bag. From there, you go into 15 minutes of core and stretching, which gives you a 1 hour workout, and you're burning around 1,000 calories in that 1 hour.
Members are welcome to bring their own gear. However, Title Boxing Club also sells all the necessary equipment out of their gym.
We also do sell gloves and hand wraps out here, as well as all apparel. So people will come in here and buy different gloves or wraps, even if they're not members here. We have it all in stock here.
Beyond the workout, Title Boxing offers a unique community for all of its members, and for those who are interested in joining on the fun.
Everyone that in here is here for the people walking through the doors. So it's really cool. It's very rare to have that. We also do have a little bit of our community piece. We offer free memberships to all Norwood firefighters and police. So you kind of do see some of that community coming in around the club here. You go right to Title Boxing Club Norwood, Googling us, or on our Facebook and Instagram pages as well, Title Boxing Club Norwood.
Your level changes.
Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your local government.
Hi, I'm Tom O'Rourke. I'm the president of the Neponset Valley Chamber of Commerce, located here in Norwood. We are a business organization of about 500 local businesses, and we believe that business can accomplish a lot more together than they can on their own. So we encourage local businesses to join us and let their voice be heard as part of the Chamber of Commerce. Our mission is to connect. We connect business to business, we connect business to the community, and we connect business to the local school systems. We work very closely with the local school systems to ensure that our future workforce is the best it can be, and that people who live in this area can work in this area and make a great life for themselves in the Neponset Valley region. So we encourage you to become a part of the Chamber. If you're not today, you can learn more about us on our website, nvcc.com, or you can always call the office at 781-769-1126. We look forward to seeing you in the Neponset Valley.
Welcome back to Norwood News. On Monday, the Planning Board met in room 12 of Town Hall. During the over 3-hour meeting, the board covered 5 agenda items, including 2 public hearings that were continued from previous meetings. The first continued public hearing of the night was for Power Lane subdivision. There were no questions from the audience for this public hearing, and after a brief discussion, the board closed the hearing and approved the proposal 5-0. The second public hearing of the night was for a special permit for a drive-through window at 940 Boston Providence Highway. Matt Smith of Norwood Engineering explained the updated plans.
What we did was we eliminated one of the curb cuts that was in this area near where the old buildings were, which used to be the dog house and the candy shop years ago. And so we eliminated one curb cut. We kept this existing curb cut to the north, and then we relocated by a few feet this middle curb cut. So we went from what we had with 3 curb cuts to proposed 2 curb cuts.
The board went on to approve the project as proposed. Later in the meeting, the board discussed a special permit extension for auto storage and the approval of the Skating Club of Boston. The planning board will meet again in January. The Finance Commission met briefly in room 24 of Town Hall before budget balancing on Monday night. Some agenda items included an approval of a fund transfer of $13,338 for a new generator for the Recreation Department, as well as a discussion of support of a Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU document. The Zoning Board of Appeals held a meeting Tuesday night as scheduled. The chair opened the meeting by welcoming an appointment looking to add potential additions to a residential property on Lenox Street. The re-applicant appeared in front of the board with attorney David Hearn to discuss any nonconformities with the project, considering that a prior application for the same property additions had failed. Attorney Hearn explained to the board why the applicant should receive a special permit versus a normal permit. Following more review, the project was accepted by the board. Next, the board and Attorney Hearn examined minor modifications to a development on Neponset Street. That modification passed and the meeting adjourned. The board will meet next after the new year on January 15th at 7:15 p.m. The Board of Selectmen held their last meeting before the new year on Tuesday night. The board had only one scheduled appointment, which was with Norwood Light Superintendent James Collins. Collins submitted his monthly report to the board, and Broadband Division Manager Daryl Hanson gave a brief update on the broadband side of the light department. The board also received a petition from 2 residents to bring the Forbes Hill property back to town meeting and to reconsider the sale of the parcel. The board ultimately turned it down, and each gave their reasoning behind the 4-1 vote.
The reason that I voted for it was because I think putting the question on the ballot is democratic, and it gives the voters a chance to speak. That's a good thing.
The reason that I voted not to put that on the ballot is because there's going to be a sincere attempt to make that past bids being received on this land. That's my reason for it, to take and put an extra issue on the ballot to get people all riled up, when in fact the land will very likely be sold by that time, and we're also hoping for the full amount that we paid for it, or very close to that, very close to that.
Because this has already been before town meeting, and by a supermajority, they decided to not keep the property and to sell it off.
This is one that this country, this state, this town runs on a representative form of government. And we've already gone through a full process, as Mr. Bishop pointed out, through town meeting, and it's been decisively decided already. So I think this is nothing more than not accepting the will of the majority of the town through its representatives, and that we should be moving on. It's set to be sold, and hopefully it will be done quite quickly in the next few months.
The Board of Health met Tuesday morning for the last time before the new year. The board took time to acknowledge potential changes in the town's budget regarding a $7 million override vote on the town's forecast.
The Budget Balancing Committee voted for a $7 million override last night, I guess. And they said this morning that it would be about $40 to $50 per month, and an average increase on the average tax bill.
So
times 12 is, yeah.
So, yeah, more than that.
I mean, that's kind of hard for
50?
people who are living
right
on the edge of their,
Right.
taxes.
I feel that way for that, but I feel for my grandchildren and everybody else's children that's in the school system, they deserve the best.
I agree with that too, but I also agree that I think everybody, town and schools, need to look at what their budget is. We all live
We are, yeah, I agree.
We all try to live within our budgets in
Absolutely.
our homes. I think that the town and the schools need to find a way to live within their budgets and not keep spending.
Later in her director's report, Sigal Reese explained how the town can benefit from the results of a school district-wide survey about tobacco and drug use.
So what we did the surveys in the schools through the Drug-Free Communities grant. We were able to assess pretty 90% of the funding on that, and we did the survey in the fall. We'll get results in the spring. So we're curious to see what our vaping rates look like and the perception. Not only what the usage rate looks like, but what's the perception of youth, that it's safer, that it's not.
The survey is funded by the Tobacco Collaboration Grant, which is another step in the board's efforts to make our community and schools a safer place for students to grow. The Board of Health will continue meeting regularly after the new year to solidify the budget and continue business. The next session is scheduled for January 15th at 10 a.m. On Wednesday night, the school committee met in their conference room at the Savage Center. The meeting opened with the approval of minutes from their previous meeting. After the approval of minutes, Dr. Thompson outlined the strategic plan and how it was formed. After a brief discussion on the strategic plan, the conversation moved to the budget. Chairwoman Maya Bodenhofer outlined the first pass of the FY20 budget and the deficit that it faces.
Today, we received from Tom McQuaid the information on the first pass budget for FY20. So he based his numbers on the school's level services request. It's somewhat higher than our FY19 budget. Some of it is includes, steps and costs of living adjustments and things like that. It also includes some more money for snow and ice, and it includes some money for the Chromebook refresh and things like that. But it does not include the new curriculum that we've talked about. It does not include any new programming that we've talked about. So that level services budget. And if you look at this, you will see that, at least on the first pass, which we know is always conservative, but at the first pass, the schools are looking at a required cut of $4.1 million from our level services.
After the budget discussion, the board talked about Coakley Middle School being accepted into the MSBA New School Eligibility Program.
Last Wednesday, we were voted in by the Massachusetts School Building Authority into the eligibility period. That does not necessarily mean that we're getting a new middle school. It means we're on the path to get a new middle school. So, you know, there's the eligibility period and there's a feasibility study, and then you move into, you know, a planning and possibly building sort of this. So there's like 3 different periods, and depending on how you do well in each, you know, there'll be another vote to go into the feasibility study, and there'll be another vote to go into the building. So that I want to make sure people realize this is not automatically mean we're building a new middle school tomorrow. It means we're at the first mile of a 7-mile walk, okay?
The next meeting for the school committee will be January 9th at the Savage Center. Also on Wednesday, the Conservation Commission met in room 12 of Town Hall to discuss agenda items such as 4 notices of intent, as well as the treasurer's report. The Norwood Trails Subcommittee was also in attendance at this meeting and gave a presentation and the progress the committee has made to date. The Conservation Committee will meet next after the new year in January. On Thursday afternoon, the Airport Commission held their monthly meeting in their conference room at Norwood Airport. The commission covered a number of topics, including a taxiway and master plan project update from Jeff King. To end the meeting, Chairman Mark Ryan made a motion to rename the newest building at the airport.
So we've had this building out here. It was constructed in 2007/8. It's been a long time coming, and now we're entering through a phase to finish this building, which is going to be a great asset to the town of Norwood, and particularly the Norwood Memorial Airport. And this building has always gone by the name of SRE Building, but I think it needs a more deserving name. And I will be making the motion right now to name that building the Major Mark C. Welch Administration Building.
To watch complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your schools. Welcome back. Now let's toss it over to our friend Tim Rose to find out what is happening around the Norwood School District.
Hi guys, thanks for joining me for an update on events and activities happening around our Norwood school community. Last week, Norwood High School held their 2nd annual talent show, or Class Act Show. 13 fantastic acts competed for the win, and in the end, it was the saxophone trio that came out on top. Student Council was successful in raising plenty of money for future projects. We're looking forward to next year's talent show. Also at NHS, Peter Giambanco, Antonio Veritimos, and Manny Escobar returned to talk about college life with current NHS Intro to Technology students. Peter is studying physics at Stonehill, Antonio is studying biomedical engineering at Wentworth, and Manny is studying unmanned flight system at Embry-Riddle in Florida. All 3 are seniors and will graduate in the spring. You've heard of the 12 Days of Christmas, but at the Callahan School, they celebrated the 5 Days of Winter Spirit, starting with an educational and entertaining performance from the New England Percussion Ensemble. This corresponded with Mustang Pride Day, followed by Silly Sock Day. Then students dressed in their concert attire, performing a range of songs. The staff even got in on the singing with a rendition of Frosty the Snowman. Additional days included Festive Sweater Day and everyone's favorite, Pajama Day. Earlier in the week, the Callahan held a Winter Wonderland family night. In addition, 5th graders greeted staff and students with holiday music as they entered the building under the direction of Mrs. Lawrence. Let's take a listen. Students at the Balch, with the encouragement of their librarian, Mrs. Duffy, and support of their classroom teachers, have been busy reading NYRA titles for the Norwood Young Readers Award. Last week, students reached over 100 books read in total, and the number is growing daily. Students in Mrs. Karapetis' 5th grade class are leading with the most books read in a class. Congratulations to 4th grader Sophie Brogadier in Miss Davis's 4th grade, who has read all 10 nominated titles. A special thank you to Orient Lodge in Norwood for donating the funds for the books making NYRA possible this year in all the elementary schools in Norwood. This week in Miss Davis's 4th grade classroom at the Balch School, students continue to work cooperatively on their extreme weather projects during Reader's Workshop. They are outlining their presentations by laying out their slides first on paper. They will then make a Google slide presentation to present to the class as a group. Together, they will create the first slide, which will describe the natural disaster that they have researched. They have learned that the main idea of a slide is to be focal point for the audience, as well as a reminder for them about their topic. Therefore, the slide shouldn't contain too many words. Their motto has been, "Less is more and keep it simple, sister." We would like to thank Ms. Davis's class for watching Norwood School News. We appreciate you taking the time to learn about all the school activities in town. The Norwood Food Services is crazy about craisins. During the past few weeks, Norwood Food Service has been holding craisin taste tests at all the elementary schools. Utilizing Chartwell's Discovery Kitchen platform to introduce and educate new food items to our students, the team has been offering samples of locally grown craisins in a variety of flavors, such as cherry, strawberry, and watermelon. After tasting the different craisins, the students got to vote on which flavors they liked best. Cranberries are one of the only fruits native to North America and have several health benefits. Look for your favorite craisin in a school lunch near you. Members from Norwood Food Service Department got into the spirit of giving and played the part of elves recently. They volunteered their time to help at My Brother's Keeper in Easton. This organization helps over 2,000 local families in 76 communities in need. The Norwood team helped gather and wrap items for families to help bring some holiday smiles to those in need. The boys and girls at the Little Mustangs preschool have been busy as elves in the North Pole. They held holiday parties in their multi-purpose room, and each child brought a grown-up guest to help them decorate a gingerbread craft. They worked together to create mini masterpieces that will surely be decking the halls of many homes around Norwood. The students also participated in their first holiday shop. The students have been having a lot of conversations and reading stories about the holidays being a special time to spend with family and friends, and how good it makes you feel when you give to others. The children decorated bags and gift tags for friends and family members, and then went to their holiday shop to choose items they thought their recipient would enjoy. Who needs Black Friday deals? After performing for the seniors last week at their holiday luncheon, our friends at the Senior Center wanted to return the favor to us. The boys and girls loved seeing the Grinch, Frosty, Rudolph, elves, and of course Santa Claus in their school singing and dancing for us. All of the staff at LMPA want to wish their friends in Norwood happy holidays. The Cleveland 4th grade wrapped up its unit on fairy tale elements, which involved students writing from the witch's perspective in the story Hansel and Gretel. Students then had to build their own gingerbread houses. Let's take a look at some of the delicious edible houses that the kids made, and I'm sure that some of the gingerbread construction materials never made it to the final product. At the Coakley Middle School, the Student Council collected more toys for their Franciscan Fun Drive than any year before. Each grade had a different selection of toys to bring in, and they saw tremendous support from the community at CMS. Their Student Council officers, along with the advisors, Ms. Baedes and Ms. Siegel, delivered the toys to the Franciscan Hospital earlier this week. These gifts were much appreciated, as the hospital is currently at capacity in the children's ward. CMS got cozy last Friday for a bit of fun. They had planned their CMS game night and thought it would be great to be in PJs all day as well. Staff and students alike got into the fun. Everyone paid $1 to wear PJs, and the proceeds will go towards grade 8 activities in the spring. The Prescott School staff were challenged to work together to build a gingerbread house at their staff meeting. Their principal advisory voted the winner and awarded Elfie's Treehouse as the winner. Congratulations to Miss Boulay, Mrs. King, Mrs. Orfanos, Mrs. Miller, Mrs. Healy, and Mrs. Fico on the win. Principal Riley will be covering one of their duties in the coming weeks. Well, that's it for school news. Don't forget to check the website, Facebook, and watch Norwood Community Media. As always, thanks so much for your continued support of our school community. Now let's send it over to Brian Dunn with the latest sports news.
Thanks, Tim. With all sports teams in action this week, we have a full scorecard on tap. We start off with the Tri-Valley matchup in the NHS as the Mustangs hosted the Holliston Panthers in their home opener. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Norwood off to a hot start here in the early going versus the Panthers. Dan Grasso gets a three-pointer to fall, opening point for the Mustangs. He didn't stop there as he drives to the left here with the contact, gets that one to fall. Again, the Mustangs jumping out to an early lead. We jump ahead to the third quarter here. Holson went on a deep run. Stopping the bleeding there was a big three from Ben Tomasello. In the blink of an eye, you see Ben Tomasello here. Another deep three. Cuts the lead down to 2. And a huge steal. Ben Tomasello leading the way. Finds Grasso on the drive. Gabe Mario comes in on the finish. Tie ball game in just a matter of seconds. Huge momentum push here for the Mustangs. You see Coach Oliver, late game seconds here, drawing up a play for his team. Norwood down 3. They ultimately did not get the three-pointer to fall, but you see Damari Daniels here splitting defenders and getting the right-handed layup. Norwood would fall this one 67-62 in the home opener. With the last stretch of games for the holiday break come and gone, let's go break down the scores around NHS Athletic. Boys hockey looking to get their season off on the right foot. Keeping games close, they suffered a 2-1 loss to Westwood on the 15th, and they lost to Akron this past Wednesday 3-2 on the 19th. Girls hockey, however, getting a great start in the Tri-Valley campaign. A 5-1 win in their opener versus Dover Scareborn on the 15th, and a 2-2 tie at Medway puts them at 1-0-1. In gymnastics action in their home opener, a 136.8 to 115 win against the Braintree Womps on December 20th puts them at 1-0 to start the year. Swimming got a big win, 97-89 over Dedham, and just a couple days prior, a 99-85 win over Norton, and they're 2-1 on the season. Wrestling had a dominant win, 36-6 over Bellingham after their quad meet victory. And the girls' junior varsity hockey team played in the infamous outdoor Lars Anderson rink in Brookline this past Thursday. Coach Maloof coached his team to a hard-fought victory over the Brookline Warriors. And it's always nice to play outdoors, get that Winter Classic feel, so congratulations to the girls' junior varsity hockey team. And this is an announcement for anybody interested in girls' youth lacrosse for next season. Registration is now open for the upcoming season. Registration closes on the 28th, that's next Friday, so if you haven't already done so, make sure you sign up before the new year. The season will start in April and indoor sections will start in March. For any questions, you can contact norwoodgirlslax@gmail.com and follow them on their social media handles below. That's all for sports this week. Have a very Merry Christmas, everybody, and I'll talk to you next year. Back to you, Kristen.
Thanks, Brian. Students from the St. Catherine School participated in a project designed to help the elderly and homebound this holiday season. Students collected bath products, home goods, toiletries, and other necessary items to give away to those in need. Denise Cronin of HESCO Elderly Services told the students about the power of their kind act.
Kids did. I had a client respond, and I can't remember the name of the kid who did the card, but he was so touched by the card, and he's very lonely, and he actually wrote me an email to tell me how grateful he was. You have no idea what the impact. They got the goodie bags at Thanksgiving from across the street, and the cards from you guys, and they loved them. They really, really did.
Congratulations, students, on a job well done. You are doing important work that is always needed, but is especially appreciated this time of year. The best holiday gift is the act of giving back to your friends, family, and community. And some more exciting news from St. Catherine School. Tuesday morning, the 8th graders and kindergartners celebrated one of the school's favorite traditions, a gingerbread housemaking party. Students teamed up for the fun holiday activity, and school's oldest and youngest worked together, creating some beautiful gingerbread homes. Lots of lollipops, gumdrops, licorice, and laughs were shared among all. Lauren Sullivan and Carolyn Curran are 2 8th graders who are feeling particularly sentimental on this special morning.
I think that they look up to us like I did when I was that young.
They were definitely scared at first. It take some time to get used to them and get used to us because we're so much older. But in the end, it's really fun.
Thanks, girls. The kindergartners are lucky to have such great role models like you guys. Great job to all, and we can't wait to see the gingerbread houses next year. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. All of us here at NCM wish you and your family a very happy holiday season.